Hello everyone and welcome to Music and Mental Health. I'm your host Noel Boyne. We're coming to you from a very, very nice studio. It's called Underground. We are supported by our SG Fund, MCCY, and we are co-supported by Singapore Association for Mental Health, that's SAMH, and Club Heal. Now in today's video, this live stream, we will speak to Camille Miller, and she's scheduled to perform for us, and we will also have Deborah Chen, and she's from SAMH. So we're going to find out from her little tips that will help you with your mental health challenges. And we encourage you to please like and share. Okay, when you share, you help us reach out to more people, and then help us create awareness. And we also have got this. We got Grab food voucher for you to win. If you like food from Grab, who doesn't? I know my wife just ordered from them earlier today and I wasn't home to eat. But yeah, so if you want to win this, we're going to tell you all about it a little later on, okay? So our first guest, she released her 5-song EP in 2019, and she's worked with the likes of Nicholas Hager, and she is a writer and vocalist to major label albums in North America and also Europe. And since moving to Singapore in 2019, this amazing lady has become a regular on our scene, and she was also performing at Lenoir, right? Lenoir is at Clarke Quay, if I'm not wrong. We're going to ask her in just a while. But she was performing there 4 nights a week. So she's here in the studio. She's a very happy lady. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Could you tell us a little bit more about your music? Like, what kind of music do you love performing to?
Well, I primarily write as a singer-songwriter, storyteller point of view. Acoustic guitar, sort of start sitting in the living room and just let everything come out. And then eventually I get the chance to work with some amazing people, like with some people here in Singapore that I've worked with, and put all of our parts together and create an album or an EP. But I'm heavily influenced by old soul and blues, growing up in the 70s, 80s.
Those are the good years, right?
Yeah. But also pop music, the
Right.
3.5-minute song with the perfect chorus and the heartbreak and the happy ending, that kind of stuff. So I like to write that stuff. I also like to cover these artists, like Taylor Swift. Any chance I can say Taylor Swift, I'm still learning her tunes. And I like to sing for people and share this music, whether it's my own or somebody else, and make them happy. Yeah.
So where has your music brought you? I'm sure all over the world.
Well, yeah. So I started in Vancouver, Canada. And I started making music when I was quite young, and then was in a cover band for 10 years that traveled around. It was like a corporate covered band, so
Right.
we did casinos and hotels and bars, and we had to dress nicely and show up and be on time, that
Right.
kind of band.
Okay.
So in that 10 years, I learned how to write and learned how to make albums. But that took me from, say, Alaska to the Middle East, all through Canada, all through parts of the US. And where I met my husband, I was performing in a hotel in Poland, in Warsaw. Wow. So I used to 3 times a year go to a Sheraton hotel and perform for 2 or 3 months and then go back to Canada. So I was doing that. And that is how actually I did get to work with a band and orchestra in Poland, was through that gig. So I did go all over the world. When I met my husband, that didn't stop because we promptly got married, and between then and now we've been in 8 different countries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So 8 different moves, I think 6 different countries. But every place I've had the chance to live, I've had the chance to record and make music.
Oh, that's beautiful, right?
Yeah, so I have no complaints. And we also got 2 cool kids out of the out of the journey.
Oh, that's
So-
nice.
Yeah, so good times.
But it's draining, right, to be on, to be in this circuit, like going to country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is draining.
So how do you do it? What was the secret to get you through this?
It's going to sound silly, but so typically we would be in one country, and my husband would, he has a consultancy business, so he would start it from the ground. And then once he built it up and got more clients, then he would get a country manager, and then we would go and open another one. So that's what we were doing, is opening offices. And to be honest, he would come to me and sort of tell me, what do you think about, hey, you like Mexico? Yeah, I like Mexico. Oh, what do you think about, do you want to move there?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, that would be great. When? How soon can you move there? So it would be like that. And it really became like us against the world, right? Because we'd show up just a mess, and then we'd leave, quite organized, and then we'd do it all over again. So it's been a challenge. I'm learning to be better at it and be craftier at it. And I enjoy the fact that everywhere we go, it's the four of us against the world kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a bit stressful and lonely, especially when the countries that you move to, you don't speak the language at all. You don't have the currency, you don't have the right bank card. I mean, all that kind of typical stuff. But we've figured it out over the years, and each time you get better. You get better at it. But I don't think we'll be doing it forever. So.
Yeah, especially with children,
the kids
right?
are getting older now.
I think they take it a little harder, because they
Yes.
have friends, and
Yes.
it's tough to
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
goodbye or see you soon,
Yes,
right?
it is. It's really tough. Yeah.
What brought you to Singapore?
Similar to, as I mentioned before, so we were in Latin America for quite a few years, Latin America and South America. And then we moved to the US for 1 year, thinking that it might be good for the business. And it really wasn't, although we met some great friends. And I got to play in 2 really cool bands, so that was fun. But this is so Latin America and Eastern Europe was where my husband primarily started his company. So Asia is the final frontier. And Singapore isn't an emerging market by any means, but it's a place for us to settle. And until COVID hit, my husband was flying in and out to places around. So this was our home base for the kids and for us. And this, I think, will be our final big move. And then eventually we'll go back to either where I'm from or where he's from. I shouldn't hit the mic, sorry. We'll figure that out in a bit. But yeah, this is it.
You mentioned COVID.
Yes.
So how did COVID affect you and your family?
Well, as everybody in the world, businesses were affected hugely. People lost jobs, people lost careers. Small business owners, like my husband, fought really hard to keep his business afloat. So that was months of, 14-hour days, trying to keep calls and keep things regulated on both an American or European side while in Singapore. So, and then that brought him from the office to in the house. So now everything's in the house, the 2 kids, the office. And at the same time, I lost, I just lost a career, not just a job, but everything. I thought I lost it.
Yeah.
And now I was just making sure the kids kept going to school and trying to just stay in the house and figure out what was next.
Yeah, I bet that was, my daughter, she's a year old, right? So she has no idea what COVID is or not being able to go out and play. But for you, being a mom of 2 young children, how did you explain to them that, especially when we had our lockdown and stuff, right? How do you explain to them that, you can't go out? You got to stay home.
Well, I was really amazed how well the kids took it and responded, and how very quickly, even when we're in a condominium, so it really was like a little amazing bubble. When the kids were allowed outside, if they saw another one of their friends who didn't have the mask on, they're like, "You've got to put your mask on. You've got to put your mask on." And I remember saying to my husband quite emotionally, like, "This is so This is so, like a mess.
Yeah.
I won't swear. And the kids really took it in stride. And I imagine most kids did. I often think too, because our kids have moved so much and our family is so like, okay, now we're doing this, now we're doing that, we have to go, go, go. Maybe they responded to a bit of the trauma in it quite well, because it's just like,
Yeah.
We got to do it. And they were sad because they couldn't see their friends. That was really tough. And of course, electronics and all of our electronic use went up, adults included.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to tell your kids not to get offline when you've got your phone in one hand and your laptop, and everything you need to do is on your laptop, and you're constantly like,
Yeah.
And so we're in different world. We wanted the kids to play games because it was the only way they could speak to their friends on the microphone. And I know this was happening all over the world, so
Yeah.
our situation isn't special. But
Yeah, but okay, as a performer, you were performing 4 nights a week at
Yes.
Lenoir.
Yeah.
How did that feel like, though?
it felt really sad because I loved doing it. B, I've been doing it so long, and I was super proud to have this gig, because I know it was a really good gig in Singapore, and the staff at Lenoir treated me really well, and they took a chance, and I wanted to do a good job. So I was really just, a year and a half in getting into it. And then I just, sorry, throat. Then I just didn't know what I was supposed to do. And then I was just getting worse. I had no motivation to practice.
Right.
Didn't want to look at my guitar. I really tried to get on the streaming as much as I could, but I annoyed myself within like 3 weeks of streaming. You just stand there staring at yourself in front of you're looking at yourself like, ah. And then people for a while, they're on for a few seconds, and they clap and stuff, and then next week it's like, a few people less, and they've seen it, and it's just a weird feeling. But yeah, and I got really bummed out. I got really, really bummed out about it. Didn't know what to do. I mean, that passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, I think this was a few weeks ago, I was walking through Clarke Quay, and I felt so sad because at that time that I was there, I would usually hear music, right? So
Yeah.
each place you walk by, there's a band.
Yeah.
And then this time, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, and I was like, like when are we going to go back to normal times, you know?
And that's what upsets me, is that it's become how quickly the kids accepted to wear a mask is how quickly the world has accepted that there's just no live music. And it's wrong. It's so wrong. There's got to be, like, I was saying this earlier to Siltra, I'll sing behind plexiglass.
Yeah.
I mean, the benefits of, not only to the musician, not only to the artist that's performing, but to the person who's sitting in an audience in a public area, surrounded by people they don't know, they've never spoken to before in their lives, listening to someone who they have no idea what they're going to play next. They can't control it. They can only like it or leave, or learn to like it, or find something new this is a gift. This is a gift that we need as a society, and it should be quicker dealt with so that we can get music back, because it's like a domino effect of benefits. So the person that isn't a musician is listening, they get emotional, they think about something, a memory in their lives, they relate to the person who's singing, they clap because they want to show their appreciation. They have that memory, they go to sleep, they wake up the next day, they go to work, they're happy, they feel good, and they've created a positive reaction in their body. Everybody needs that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that we're all on screens so much now. We're all in our safe boxes of you are only communicating with your friends on your friend list. Your Spotify music is, even if you put it on random, it only plays the top most played tunes. We're listening to less music with more availability. I think the importance of sitting and hearing and listening and feeling with more senses, I think is something that we need, and we can't lose it. And it does everybody so much good.
I can't agree more. With music, there's like songs that you listen to when a child is born, for example.
Yes.
And then when someone passes on, when you go
Yes.
through a breakup, music helps you get through all these things, right?
Yeah.
And live music is so powerful. My wife is a performer. You know, I used to love watching her sing on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't like the part where she would invite me to come on stage because I can't sing. But you know.
Come on,
yeah.
you loved it.
No. no. Because I know I can't carry a tune. But yeah, that's something I really miss, and I hope, you know, we'll get back to that soon.
Yeah, I think we will. I have to believe we will, and I just hope that. And it's also it's a lifetime of a skill that an artist performer takes to get to the stage where they can work with an audience and have the banter and learn to read people and their emotions and all this and be able to perform songs to a standard that is passable, you know, to people's ears. And you need to do that. Isn't something you can just learn in a book and then just go do it. You have to do it by trial and error.
Yeah.
Fall down, get up. Fall down, get up.
Yeah.
And we need to have that back because it's a skill that carries in so many different genres of life. It's. I just hope we'll get it back. This is going to change things.
Yeah, for sure. I love what you just said. When you fall down, you get up. Right.
Yeah,
That's so
you've gotta get
important
up.
because we all fall.
Yes.
Yeah, but what's important is
how you
yeah.
react when you fall.
Yeah.
You got to keep getting back up, even if you're just like, you know, because we all, you know, metaphorically, or we all do this, and it's how you react when the bad comes, and the bad's gonna come.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta find a way for yourself to get around it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, before I let you go up on that stage that you miss so much to perform, I just want to ask, with COVID and everything that's happening in the world now, has that changed the way you write music?
It's, you know, it's changed. It has changed some things, mostly because I've started recording some music, like electronic music, as I call it. So, and it's obviously showing my age because I'm like that new fandangle electronic with beats and tracks.
Yeah.
So I've worked you know, while we were in COVID and couldn't go anywhere, I had a friend, Hangi Tavakoli from Flipside, which is actually just down this road, send me some tracks and beats, and he said, could you come up with some vocals? So we did this all while we were in our houses, right? And I typically work as an acoustic singer-songwriter with a live band and then record the band live, old school, drums, piano, guitar. So in this way, I've completely changed how I've been writing. But I have it's brewing inside me. I need to go back and sit in a room with a bunch of people and write some music in the way I typically did before. So it's brewing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have got a whole bunch of songs that you're gonna perform for us. Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous, though, to be honest.
Why?
I just am. I'm still nervous. I thought it would go away as soon as I started talking, but my voice talking is making me even more nervous.
Okay. We shall stop you from talking, and then you can go get ready.
Okay.
Okay? All right, folks. Coming up, right, we've got, of course, fantastic performance for you. And also we're going to talk to a representative from SAMH. And also, once again, we got this giveaway that's going to come up a little later on. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And, you know, if you just joined us, please, I beg you, please like and share. If you share, you help us create awareness, okay? We want as many people, not just in Singapore, but all over the world to watch this fantastic show that we have for you. And we're going to have more personal stories, right? More personal stories. And if you have one to share, because when you share, then you create awareness, right? So if you share your stories in the comments, I don't know whether I can read it out in time, but if I don't, then I'll read it later on when I get home, and then I'll reply to you. And Siltra will reply to you as well. The lovely folks here at Underground will reply to you as well. Okay, so now we're going to have 3 songs that's going to be performed for you live right here at the Underground studio. It's Camille.
Thank you. This is a song called Song by You.
Since you went away, not so long ago. You're a mystery, a haunted memory that I used to sing out loud. I used to feel so tall. Now alone I stand and I feel a shadow casting down on me. You're far away, standing where you used to be. You're somewhat of a mystery to me now. You're far away, you've got to stay. Everything that I ever knew was written in a song. It's funny how this life is so full of change. I never realized how I'd gone and changed inside till I put a record on that we used to sing. Now the melody is loud. You just don't sing to me 'cause you're gone away, gone away, standing where you used to be. You're somewhat of a mystery to me now. You're far away, you got to stay. Everything that I ever knew was written in a song. By you, by you, by you, by you. Ooh, ooh, by you, by you, by you, by you. I'm standing here where you used to be. I'm a song in need of harmony. Every tear that I ever cried, it turned into a lullaby. Oh, 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 everything that I ever knew was written in a song by you.
That's I wrote that song actually just after stopping playing music full time and becoming a mom. And that song was I was pretending that music was a lover or a boyfriend, and I had broken up with music. So that was my song about that. Heart and soul. You are strong, like an oak tree standing tall, and you will bend before you fall, and you have empathy, you feel everything, you are kind. There's no greater gift in life, and if someone casts you aside, you have confidence. This is just a test. This world is worth living in, 'cause you are part
of it, right in the heart of it. You give light to everything, and I wanna be with you, walking beside you in soul. You've got heart and soul, and it's everything. You're beautiful, despite televised trends, and your beauty is born within you. No one can take away the things you're here to say, 'cause this world is worth living in, 'cause you are part of it, right in the heart of it. You give light to everything, and I wanna be with you, walking beside you in soul. You've got heart and soul, and it's everything. Soul, that soul, you got heart and soul, you got everything, everything. Well, sometimes it feels like you just can't go on. And you think that no one understands you, baby. Well, you're wrong. Oh, this world is worth living in, 'cause you are part of it, right in the heart of it. You give light to everything, and I wanna be with you, walking beside you. This world is worth living in, 'cause you are part of it, right in the heart of it. You give light to everything, and I wanna be with you, walking beside you in soul. You've got heart and soul, and it's everything. Soul, that soul, you got heart and soul, you got everything. You've got soul, heart and soul, oh, it's everything. Oh, it's everything, 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 everything. Heart and Soul. It's a song for our kids. This next song is called Cover Me. And I wrote this thinking about how lonely we all feel sometimes when we're in our phones and we're checking everybody out. And we all do it. And I think it's hard for our teenagers, our tweens. Stand before me, let me feel your soul, let me feel the warmth of your touch, hearts unguarded. telling you that I'm scared, that I'm failing. Please don't leave me. Tell me that the love from you is all I need. I can't do this on my own. I'm out of life through the telephone, staring in as I'm fading out. We're all covered in lonely, covered in dirt. I can't do this by myself. The lines they're fading, breaking down, 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 filter perfect scenery. We're all covered in lonely, covered in need. Cover me, cover me, cover me. We're all covered in lonely, covered in need. Cover me.
Thank you very much, Camille. Oh my God, I love her voice. And the good thing is she's going to perform a little later on. Our next guest, she began her journey with the Singapore Association for Mental Health in 2011. She's one of the pioneers of SAMH Creative Services. She devotes her practice to how the arts can improve mental health. I think that's amazing. And she supports SAMH in developing and enhancing donor and volunteer engagement. And she's very smart as well, because it says here she has a Master in Art Therapy and Bachelor of Arts, and she's majoring in Visual Communications. Awesome, right? Guys, please welcome Deborah Chen.
Hi, thanks, Noel. Yes,
Why are you laughing?
the way you introduced me
Yeah,
sounds like a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. But the bottom line is that you're really intelligent.
Okay, I hope so.
Okay, what made you join SAMH? What was the calling?
Okay, I think back in my university days when I was doing my bachelor's, what happened was that I had a project that I worked on together with a professor. That was back in NTU actually.
Mm-hmm.
And he was actually rolling out with them, and then we had an exhibition. So I think from that experience, it kind of inspired me or gave me another perspective on how the arts can actually support someone within the healthcare sector.
Right, right.
Yeah. So that's really the sort of like the beginning of my journey.
Okay, so how does the arts help?
Okay, so I think for different individuals, it works differently. So what I first saw for when I worked with Parkinson patients was that when it came to the use of clay, I think it helped in terms of the modality that was being used, the idea of the texture of the clay, working through the different fine motor skills and everything with the modality. So I think that in itself was helpful for Parkinson patients. But what, in terms of helpful for other sort of conditions or individuals, that can vary. Yeah, so for some, like maybe even for myself, or I'm not sure whether for you, just engaging in art making could be relaxing in that sense.
Yeah, I should try that. The only art I've done, right, I'm quite embarrassed to say this, it's paint by numbers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I
Okay.
get very frustrated. Especially
then
when I
maybe it's not
can't, yeah, when I can't find the numbers, yeah. And I feel like, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
So how does this play into SAMH? Like, what do you do?
Okay. So, as you shared in a very long introduction about myself, I was with them since 2011,
Yeah.
and that was when creative services, now one of the pillars in SAMH, started. So back then, even way before creative services, one of our colleagues actually started this arts program within the rehabilitation service in SAMH. And she felt that, hey, this should not just only be for individuals who are in recovery, but for the general public, because the arts is not just about art and mental illness, but it can be for mental health.
Yeah.
So in 2011, we started our first center, and that was back in Goodman Art Center.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we did was we mainly focused using the visual arts program to kind of get people on board to when we get them in to attend the art making sessions. We bring in the mental health literacy content from there. So let me give you an example.
Sure.
So you come to us knowing that you are coming for a watercolor session. So the differentiating point is like, let's say you go for art class. You know you're going to learn the technique.
Yeah.
You know you're going to learn how to paint step 1 to step 10, for example. On our end, it's not that you don't learn the techniques, you learn the basic techniques, but the focus is more about learning about yourself through the learning process of art making.
Right.
Yeah. So we bring in things like, for example, like how do you notice as you learn how to manage and control the water in watercolor, for example? How do you react or respond when you are facing a challenge as you are learning? How do you interact with others in the group as well? So we use the art making process as a means to know more about yourself, which is also then linked to mental health. Yeah.
Ah,
So
okay.
that is an example of how we kind of bring the arts and mental health together. So over the years, it then evolved into bringing in other artists in the community to come on board with us. So back then, 10 years ago, it wasn't very heard of.
Yeah.
We had to do also a lot of pitching to share, about the work that we do, advocacy, hey, arts can be a way to actually enhance your mental well-being, and how can you do it, for example.
Okay.
Yeah. So it started out with a lot of that, and then we brought in interested, like-minded artists who work in the community to kind of expand this program. Yeah. So that was how we started. Slowly we brought on board art therapists as well. So art therapy is different from art making.
Okay.
Yeah. So in art therapy, it's very clear that you're coming to work on a presented concern or issue. And the art here is, we're not going to teach you like the steps or the techniques. Rather, we're using it as a platform for self-reflection,
Okay.
a platform for expression, and then the therapist works together with the individual if they are able to share more and delve deeper to find new insight and new perspectives. Yeah, so we use the art here also as a form of new way of seeing your concern or issue, and you learn from there as well. Yeah.
Okay. For those folks that are watching,
Sure.
if they want to get involved in this program, how do they go about
Okay.
this?
So I think at the end of this program, they're going to put the link,
Okay.
the website link. So feel free to check out our website. Go under our services, and you'll be able to find creative services. We have an email there. You can reach out to us and write in. This particular program is open to the public, so anyone can join us.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
And there's other services as well, right? By SAMH. Would you like to tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. For us, if I may just use the triangle as a visual.
Sure.
So the first two, the top part of the triangle is individuals who are in recovery, and we have what we call our rehabilitation services that mainly focus on caring for them. So actually that's how SAMH started. The whole organization is 53 years old. We started in 1963.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
63. And it really came forth from wanting to have a community-based service for individuals who have been discharged from the hospital and wanting to integrate back. So really the top tier is our rehab services for individuals who are in recovery. And then along the years, we learn, we grow, and we realize that, it shouldn't just be for persons with mental illness, but it's mental health.
Yeah.
Because everyone, like you and I, we all have our mental health to care for.
Yeah.
So we branch further down into the bottom of the triangle, which is at risk or individuals without mental illness, so just like any one of us.
All right.
Yeah, because we all have mental health to care for. So when I talk about at risk, what I mean is usually for individuals who come from more difficult or challenging backgrounds that may put them in a position of being at risk of a mental illness.
Right.
Yeah, and we believe a lot in prevention work as well. We don't want to wait until a person really is in dire need and then we reach out to them. We should always, do the prevention work. So creative services is one of them. Our outreach services is also one of them that also covers the bottom part of the triangle. So the whole triangle, creative services and outreach, we also work with our individuals who are in recovery. It's
Right,
not
okay.
just at risk or members of the public.
Yeah, because, on the way here, like we've been talking a lot about the folks that are going through a difficult time. And then it got me thinking about their families. Because it takes quite a bit, for families to deal with someone who's got clinical depression or bipolar, because if you don't really understand it, or you're not in that person's shoes, then it gets very difficult. Do you have like a support program for these people as well?
So meaning to say like support program for the caregivers?
Yeah, the caregivers.
Specifically? Okay. So on our part, we don't have a very specific program like what you've mentioned. There are other organizations like Caregiver Alliance that also do caregiver support.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically for caregivers. But because our rehab program, it's primarily what we call like a case management service that we do. Essentially that also involves already working with caregivers. Yeah, so we still work with the families. Like when a person is going through a difficulty, usually it's always best to get the family involved.
Yeah.
Always best to have that kind of family support
Correct.
around them. So we do work with caregivers, but if you're speaking specifically to a caregiver program, then we do not have that program.
Okay,
Yeah.
but there are people, or there is an organization.
There are other organizations
Okay.
that people can turn to specifically for caregivers.
Yeah. So prevention is so important.
Yes.
Right, I
yes,
remember last
definitely.
week I saw this in the news. Topayo, these two teenage girls, they jumped to the depths, and these are teenagers, If you think about it, they have their whole lives ahead of them, and obviously help didn't come to them soon enough. So I really hope that those people who are watching, if you're not one of those that need help, but that there's somebody in your family or your inner circle or your colleague, right? There are options, So the first thing is for them to reach out, right?
Yes.
To you all. There's a hotline?
There's a hotline. So the hotline number to call is 1-800-283-7019. At the end of the program, they will flash the number.
Yeah.
So please do reach out if you need help. Help is there. At the same time, I also want to speak to, everyone here, because we actually can do our part as well. Help is not just left to the professionals. Help is left to the community. We have a role, we have a part to play in helping someone.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, it's about awareness, and what I love about what we're doing here for the 4 Thursdays in April is that we are creating awareness. And so people know that, okay, this is going on, this is the help we need. And I think that's been lacking for a while. And then now, people know, and then you can share and you can talk and you can join programs. Yeah.
I think, just now your conversation with Camille, you were talking about COVID. I think COVID has brought about greater awareness about mental health. Like I said, back then, 10 years, it was hard to advocate. There was more stigma around it. I still think stigma is there, but conversations are opening up. People are more willing to come forth. So that's a good thing also as well. Yeah.
Yeah. the guests that we have on the show have just been amazing because they're so brave that they want to share, you know, their struggles, and you know, we keep it real. We keep it really real.
Yeah.
How was it like for you as a child? I have a question here, you know, about your childhood memories and upbringing that led you to social work. Are you okay to talk about this?
Yeah, sure. I think within the work that I do in the social sector specifically, I think growing up in terms of family, we have always been advocating, or rather my family, about giving back. Giving back to community, giving back to people around you. But also as a child, I think maybe I was a bit more on the curious sort. I like to question why, and why must things be this way, and why must things be that way. So I think coming into this current career that I'm working in, it's not the usual track, I would say. I mean, back then also as well, people also ask me, hey, Deborah, what are you doing? You know, why are you doing this and things like that. There were also people who kind of discouraged me as well. But I think beyond that, I saw a larger purpose as with like the different influences, like just now I shared about my professor, showing me that there's more to do than just not that there's anything wrong with beautiful art or anything, but there's more to that, and how it can help people. So I think family influence is one thing, as well as growing up, you know, my education and my experiences kind of led me to this path, I believe. Yeah.
Beautiful, man. I wish there were more people like you. Yeah,
I think they are.
Yeah, they are. But
you
we
can
need more.
find more people to come and share.
You can start like your own army. Yeah, I would join your army though, because it's really for a good cause. Yeah. And it helps people get better. Okay, so I'm gonna share the resources later. You don't go anywhere because you're gonna be here for the Q&A.
Sure.
Okay. We are gonna do the giveaway now, so pay attention. If you like to win, grab food vouchers. This is a gift card, right? The rules are very simple. You got to like and share, and then you got to follow the Underground Facebook page. If you've not done so, come on, man, please do it now. And you type in the comments. You have to tell us at least one of our guest names. That's it. Very simple. So once again, in order for you to win an awesome Grab Food voucher, you got to like and share. You got to follow the Underground Facebook page. Okay, like and follow. And then you type in the comments the name of one guest on tonight's show. Very, very simple. And then later on, we will let you know who is the winner. Yes. Okay, so we are back with another live performance on stage. Please welcome Camille.
Listening to what I say, what did I say? Nobody's listening. No one hold me when I cry, sometimes I cry. No one hold me. Ever since I was a child, I always said I'm sorry. Standing in the shadow of an overhanging tree, I tremble at the thought of ever ruffling the feathers. Oh, I tremble at the thought of ever having to be me. Louder, louder than words, this feeling that I'll never be heard, and I'll never sinking back into the light, 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 light. Comfort me, empathy, wrap me up and keep me through the night. Come to me, let me be all that I could hope for, all that I could ever, more than I could ever what I say, what I say. What did I say? Nobody's listening. Ooh, 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 yeah. No one to hold me when I cry, when I cry. Sometimes I cry, no one to hold me. There's no one to hold me. That's Nobody's Listening. You can find that on Spotify. And if you need a name, my name's Camille Miller. So if that's to help, just that's I'm giving you a hint. All this music you can find on Spotify or Apple Music or Instagram or TikTok. I even have a TikTok account. I don't know why, but I do have one. So Camille Miller, you can find me there. This next one is called Building Steam, and it was a lovely chance to shoot a video for this song because it was shot here in Singapore, and it features some amazing local Singaporeans, which I'm thrilled to have got the chance to do. Take me back to where I belong. Just let me get dirty and rewrite my wrongs. Oh, put me back inside the ring. 'Cause I got a lot of fights left inside of me. Dust and prints instead of experience. And I can't be a beauty on the screen, 'cause beauty ain't built to last. And this train, she's building steam. Stand up and fall on my face. 'Cause I'm not afraid to fail, but just to be and replace. And I need a home run so bad I could spit as I'm bearing on my soul. I hear shit. Wall, just collecting dust and prints instead of experience. And I can't be a beauty on the screen, 'cause beauty ain't built to last. And this train, oh this train, she's building steam. She's building steam. Oh, I'm building steam. Oh, I'm building steam. Falling so far I can't count, but my back is strong as nails, strong as your heart. And I need to get back up on that horse, 'cause this train ain't gonna last. instead of experience. And I can't be a beauty on the screen, 'cause beauty ain't built to last. But this train, oh this train, oh this train, I'm still building steam. I'm building steam. Oh, I'm building. I'm just building steam. Building steam. One more song. Just a second. I have to hydrate or the top part of the voice doesn't work. So way back when I was very, very pregnant with our first child, Hannah, I wrote this song to her because I didn't know what to expect. And I was very scared. And I didn't know if I'd be good at this, being a mom. And I was asking her to be patient. It's getting late now. I can't sleep for fear of losing hold of this vision in my mind. New beginnings bring up oh so many fears as you grow stronger. Wait for me, wait for me. I know you're gonna be alright. I promise to be here to guide you. You've given me a brand new life. Tiniest of hearts beats strongest. I feel you stirring deep inside my soul. I never knew I was missing love at all. Your tiny hands with eyes as old as fire. Thank God you found me. Oh, you found me. I know you're gonna be alright. I promise to be here to guide you. You've given me a brand new life. Tiniest of hearts beats strongest. I Thank you so much, everybody.
Wow. I love her voice. Cannot get enough of it. The energy in the studio today is just amazing, and it's also really cold. Last week, I was in a shirt, didn't wear a jacket, and then, yeah. Today I'm wearing a jacket, it's still cold because I've got no hair. I'm half expecting either a polar bear or a penguin to come up from behind my chair. We're going to do a Q&A segment now, but before that, for those of you, we just saw that some of you have just started watching, please tap. Use this very important finger or even your pinky, thumb, whatever. But just share the post, okay? You don't have to say much. Maybe in the captions, just say, please watch, support, right? It helps us create awareness. And when we do that, we start winning, okay, this battle. We have this board here, and we got these two lovely ladies that have joined me on the sofa. Okay, so we've got a series of questions. None of us have seen the questions. I've been told to not be dainty. So, the first one is, can I recover from mental illness?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree.
For sure.
It's not easy though, right? It's definitely not a easy battle, but I know, like, with, as you mentioned earlier, with the right support and all, then it's something that can be done. So this one was simple. Let's see the next one. Does mental illness have a demographic?
No.
No.
No, it can happen.
It doesn't care who you are,
Yeah.
where you come from.
Right. We were talking about this earlier before we went live, and we were saying that it's affected everyone, right? From the rich to the famous to the layman to folks from all industries.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. Like, they may think that, oh, you know, it affects like the folks from the lower income families, but it's not true, right?
It's not true. That's why we talk about mental health, because everyone has mental health.
I like the mental health.
Yeah, it's like your physical
this.
health.
Yeah.
You have mental health, so we have to care for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Next one. Can you prevent mental illness?
Ooh, I don't know if I know the answer to that. I think you can work it. I think some things happen no matter what you do, but I think you can try to keep your environment as positive as possible, but you'd have to answer that one. I don't know.
The professional.
I think for this particular answer, I do resonate with what Camille actually shared. In life, we are thrown challenges, we are thrown difficulties, and it's really how we choose to respond and react at the same time. And also what you want to put in place for yourself to actually learn how to manage and cope with the situation. So there are times where it might be hard to prevent it because of circumstances, but for sure there is support out there.
Yeah, but I think people can do little things like you should be able to communicate better, like with how you feel.
Yeah, there should be more words available to everybody, right? That you can just say, oh, I've got this, instead of going like, there's something and I feel horrible and I don't know why. And like that, you know, you gotta...
I think that's why, I mean, we're here in terms of talking about the arts. It could be music, it could be art. It's something that we can use to express when sometimes words are very hard. Yeah. So there are ways to work around it. There are ways to communicate. So I think that's what the arts can do for all of us.
I think also, is there like a lot of stigma? I think some people have stigma around certain words, saying like, I feel depressed or I feel worried. They're afraid that if they say those words, people are going to go, oh, you're this or you're that. So there's got to be less stigma or more words, more options.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that, I also do think that if you're the individual trying to convey something as well, and you want someone to listen, so that kind of like communication aspect has to be there also. And definitely on the recipient's end, hearing that, we can choose to be more empathetic, we can choose to respond kindly as well. Yeah, I mean anyone, not just professionals, anyone.
Yeah, so I don't know whether it's the taboo, because when I meet people and I ask them, how are you? And then what they say all the time, oh, I'm good, everything's fine. But then from their face, their eyes, right, you can tell that something's going on, right? So I think once people get that in their brain where it's okay to not be okay, and then they can take the next step and then, you know, go see a therapist, see a counselor. I mean, all that can prevent you from falling into that really dark hole.
Yeah, actually, you know, Noel, when you mentioned that, like if we are able to kind of observe that from an individual, and maybe you won't be able to adjust it there and then, but it could be, you know, after the whole event or something that's over, you could speak to the person privately or reach out. I think that in itself is already a first step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do I do if the support doesn't help?
Okay. Anyone want to share?
You mean if your immediate, like the person that you would go to for support doesn't help, or support as in where you're from, like you mean professional support?
I think maybe for this one we should talk about family. If, just
Yeah.
say, you know, because that
okay.
should
Yeah.
be your support system, right?
Yeah.
Or your close friends. If that doesn't help a person and that fails, because we've seen that before where people, they say, no lah, you know, that person's going to be okay, and then
Yeah.
that person becomes worse, right? So what should you do if that support system fails?
Okay.
Well, you should. You mean if this is me, and everything's failed? Well, I would start Googling really quick and find somebody that I could call. I would call a number anonymously. I would call and talk to somebody, and I would try and find a counselor. I would go to a school or church or somewhere and find somebody that I could ask and speak to. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I think we do, I mean, with our helpline also, we do have individuals calling through for support, and unfortunately there are situations that, like what you've mentioned, like families may not be that supportive as well. For different individuals, I would think that it works also differently. Some, they are maybe more ready to pick up the phone to call as well. Some also Google to kind of find self-help books. At the same time, internally they want to kind of internalize their thoughts, process it on their own first, and then they reach out. Or it could also be reaching out to a close friend if family support is not there. That's why I was saying, like, you know, the help is not just left with the professionals, but I think anyone can come in and step up to help. So reaching out to a close friend is definitely also another possible lifeline, helpline.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, there's so many options, right?
There are
Yeah.
options. There are options. There's hope. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's definitely hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get very affected when I hear about people taking their lives, you know, because I don't know if it's because, I mean, let's keep it real, like, you know, I've attempted suicide 5 times. And during those times, I felt that there was no hope. There was like no other way out, you know. But then now, where I am in life, I'm so glad that those 5 times failed, you know, And then I realized that, hey, there is a lot of help. But I think when you're in that rut, you know, when you're in that funk,
You're in the funk.
yeah,
Deep in the funk.
you don't see that. So you need that support system, people to give you that hand and say, you know what, let's do this together. Yeah, for sure. Last question: where can I seek help from?
I think coming from SAMH, Singapore Association for Mental Health, we do have help that's really available for individuals who need someone to listen to, who needs counseling support, who needs art therapy support, or even just a place to kind of belong to within through the art, through the arts or sports or nature. I mean, through our creative services, basically. So that is one avenue that you can come to us. We are open to the public as well.
That's great. What about for say tweens or teens, do you have at SAMH? Do you have sort of like mentors or something that young teenagers can call and speak to or see that are sort of younger and kind of, do you have different age groups and range?
Yeah. So previously we didn't have that. It's mainly professional staff working with youths. But the approach is changing, the landscape is changing, where what we have is what we call peers. So that means people of similar ages coming in to support one another.
Fantastic.
Because again, I'm going back to the same point, because it's not just about the professionals, but people in your community that are able to learn how to carry that kind of conversation and support one another. So we are moving into that for especially youths, and interestingly in Singapore, youth, the age ranges from 13 to 35. So it's actually youth and young adults as well. Yeah. So we are working towards it, having that kind of support and not just leaving it to professionals as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's really exciting
That's huge.
stuff. Yeah. Do you see a lot of children, by the way?
For us, in that sense, the age range is mainly 12 years old and up. But in terms of like art therapy, we do have young children that come to us. But children that young, they're typically not diagnosed with a mental illness because they're still too young. But those that come to us, usually maybe the family is going through a difficult time and the child needs support as well. Yeah, so it's more of that.
Okay.
It's cool that you do that.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering these questions. We're going to go on to good news. We got a winner for the GrabFood gift card. And the winner is Muhammad Nasir Sawal. Muhammad Nasir Sawal. Congratulations. I hope you have a really nice meal. Okay, it's time for us to wrap up the show. It's been really nice. And I'm so grateful and blessed to be the host of this show. Okay. Music and Mental Health is proudly presented to you by Siltra Lee.
Yay!
Yeah. Former Singapore Idol contestant. She sings really well. I'm sure she can't wait to perform again. And also Underground. If you guys ever need a awesome studio to do your recordings, to perform at, you got to check out this place. Okay, the energy is amazing, and I love the vending machine. Music and Mental Health is supported by our SG Fund and also MCCY. And we are co-supported by the Singapore Association for Mental Health, SAMH, and Club Hill. Now, next week's show, we have Nina Listari and Ali So. Okay, so it's going to be the same thing as well. Guys, it's never, ever too late to like and share, okay? And I also want to say this, it's really okay to not be okay, okay? I found that out the hard way. So that's what I want you to know. And this is something I firmly believe in. If we bother to listen more, right, this world will be a better place. So speak to your friends, speak to your family, just find out how they're doing. That's all you need to do, and then be the good person, right? And just be there for them. We got resources in the description. Okay, so we want you to look at it, and then we also want you to, of course, do your part, because awareness is so important, guys. It really is. I can't emphasize this more. Okay, so check out the resources, and then also help us to pass it to your friends, to your loved ones. Okay, you never ever know when this is going to be so important to you. Okay, there is help out there. So once again, thank you, ladies, for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Women power, man. Hashtag women power. Okay, my name is Noel Boyd. Signing off. We'll see you here next Thursday at 8:30 p.m.